Hello. So before we start with the event, I would like to see a show of hands of the people who actually get scared or anxious before their final semester exams maybe. So can I see a show of hands? Okay, I can see two, very nice. Okay, great. So now let's just assume tonight is the night before your semester exams, right? And also let's just assume another variable that you actually care about scoring well, right? Now keeping these two things in mind, this would be a conclusion that right now you're panicking, right now you are scared because your exam is tomorrow. You have a vast syllabus to complete. The pressure is immense. Your guardian, your parents, they're calling you, and most importantly, on the WhatsApp group, your classmates are dropping messages that, do you know where this answer is from? And you are thinking, I don't even know if this word even exists in the book. So now with that amount of pressure, of course you're panicking, but what if, for a second, you just imagine that you are sitting in the examination hall, you look at the question paper, you know most of the answers, you're able to solve the answers, and you're smiling because you know you're feeling confident and you know you are excelling. You see, just by imagining that, we feel good, we feel relieved. Now what if I was to tell you that you can actually rewire your brain in such a way that even though you were not completely prepared, right now you are not prepared and your exam is tomorrow, but by rewiring your brain, you can actually score really well tomorrow. So what I'm talking about is called mental rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is a neuroscience. It is scientifically backed by an immense number of studies which talks about that the more you visualize, the more you imagine something, and you really, genuinely, passionately imagine something, it can be a reality. You can actually move towards success. So my name is Priya Besbarwa. I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm a practicing clinical hypnotherapist. I am working as a chief psychologist in India's largest psychology and mental health community called Socially Soul here in Mumbai. And before we start, I would just like to tell you a little bit from where I come from, because I think who am I today makes a very big difference because of where I come from. So I come from this very small little cute town where everyone knows everyone. It's a very small town called Golaghat, which is based out of Assam, the northeast. And just today in the lounge, we were discussing about northeast. So just to clarify one thing, that I do not eat momos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even though I love it, absolutely love it. I will never eat dogs, because that's what a lot of people ask me. I would rather kill for a dog though. And most importantly, I do not speak Chinese, and Northeast is a part of India. All right, so having cleared that, now let us, after all the geography that we just studied about, let me just do a quick history recap, right? So we all know about Olympics. We do know about the Beijing Olympics of 2008. There was a very important swimmer. His name was Michael Phelps. Now you know what he did? You are representing your country. It is immense pressure, lot of pressure. Now, before you dive into the water, so obviously, right, the crowd is cheering and you're scared. Now, as soon as he went underwater, his goggles, they started filling with water. Now, you see, you have to be able to see, right, if you're swimming. But then again, and he did not panic. He was confident, he was cool. When he got out of the water, everyone could see that, water was falling off his goggles. And the crowd was panicking. But you know what he did? He did not just win gold for the country, but he also broke the world record. And after a lot of interviews, one thing that we have learned is something that Michael Phelps constantly spoke about, was that he has swum countless number of times blind, even though he's not. That is because when he was practicing mental rehearsal. He was constantly visualizing all the countless number of ways things can go wrong and how to actually overcome that struggle. But this was all imagination. It did not actually happen when he was swimming and practicing. It was all in his imagination. And yet it helped him win the gold and to break the record. Now, what is the science behind it, right? So the science is that every time you're physically practicing something, new neural connections in the brain are formed. The more you practice, the more these connections are strengthened. Our brain, it's very mechanical, so it's not necessarily the smartest, you can say. And that is why our brain cannot really distinguish between what is real and imagined, because for them, for the brain, practice is practice. Right? So there was a study that was done by Dr. Alan Richardson, he's a psychologist, where he took 2 groups of basketball players. One group was practicing regularly free throws. Then there was this other group who was only asked to imagine the free throws. They were not physically practicing. They were only imagining. After 20 days, a match was conducted, and you know what in the match? The group that only visualized, they didn't even lift a finger, they only visualized. That group performed equally well as the group that was actually physically practicing. What is that? Mental rehearsal, a neuroscience, a scientifically backed up study. Right? What is it that we learn from this? That's similar to how we have muscle memory. We have also something which is called as mental muscle memory. So the more we visualize something, the more we imagine something, for us, that is real and we are actually able to perform it. So supposedly you want to break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Mentally rehearse it. If you want to give a PowerPoint presentation, mentally rehearse it. If you want to confront someone, mentally rehearse it. The answer is right in front of you. You just have to visualize and imagine and you're good to go. You know Serena Williams, before her every point, she mentally rehearses her point. If I have to give you an example closer to heart, Kapil Dev. We all know Kapil Dev, right? So back when he was playing the World Cup, all the odds were against India. Everyone knew India will lose. They were just watching the game for the sake of watching it. And you know what happened? Obviously, the players also knew that the odds were very badly against them. Kapil Dev, as a captain, only said one thing to his team members, that forget the game. Just visualize holding the World Cup trophy. Just imagine hugging it, kissing it, and how it feels like, how you are feeling when you're holding the trophy. Just visualize that, go out to the field and play. That's all. And you know what happened? History was created. India got its first World Cup trophy in cricket when all the odds were against them. And what did they only have to do, apart from, of course, practicing a lot? Mental rehearsal. That is it. So now I know that these are all examples, but the reason why I'm putting up so much examples is because a lot of top achievers, top performers, they practice mental rehearsal, because of which they are at the top. So now quickly let's do one activity, right? Quickly just do a practice. So now I want all of you to put your phones down and to close your eyes. Please close your eyes, we are all safe here. Take a deep breath in. And just imagine what really scares you. Something that you're afraid of, something that is holding you back. Now try to focus on how that makes you feel. Is it making you feel anxious? Is it making you feel scared? Are you embarrassed? What is it that you're feeling? How is that feeling making you feel? Do you feel it is holding you back? Do you feel it is stopping you? Now, imagine that whatever your fear is, you have overcome it. You have succeeded it. You can imagine, you can see yourself succeeding from the fear. Take a deep breath in, and as you slowly exhale, try to notice how your breath has become steady. Try to notice how you're feeling confident because you have achieved it. Try to see how it feels to actually excel. Now, open your eyes and tell me honestly, in a yes or a no, did you feel the change of heart? Did you feel something from anxious to feeling more relieved? Yes, no? You know, the exact moment when you imagined succeeding, that was the exact point when your brain started to rewire itself towards success. It is that easy. That is the only reason why physiologically, for all the yeses here, physiologically you felt calm, you felt at peace, you felt confident, and you simply imagined. That is it, right? So now having said that, there are just 4 points I would like to touch upon that you can focus on when you want to mentally rehearse. Number 1 is make it as real as possible. So don't just think that, oh, I want to achieve this, I will get 100 on 100 in psychology. No. Try to imagine and feel it that yes, you have gotten 100 on 100, you're looking in your answer sheet, you are feeling how it feels. Make it as real as possible, as if it's really happening right at this moment. Number 2, practice regularly. See, right now, what you did was a practice. It just took you, what, a minute or less than a minute. So if supposedly you are in a lecture that you could not bunk, practice this. If you are traveling in the auto and all the Mumbaikars here and that long local train, visualize, imagine. You have all the time in this world, but every day try to visualize at least once if you really, really want to achieve it. Number 3, use all your senses. So don't just think about, oh, I'm winning this, I'm sitting here. Try to also focus on how that is making you feel. What are the sounds maybe that you're possibly hearing when you are achieving it? Who are the possible people around you when you are achieving it? Try to make it real. And last, make sure that you are imagining the obstacles, because see, life is not easy. Life is always going to be tough and there will always be obstacles. Imagine all the possible obstacles and imagine overcoming that just the way Michael Phelps did. That is the way you mentally rehearse. So now I want to end this by leaving you with a thought. So we are all here in Mumbai. We all know about the story of this man who travels from Delhi to Mumbai for the love of his life, who was also struggling as an actor, who did a couple of serials. Today we know him as the Shah Rukh Khan and the Mannat that he built. Every interview that we watch from early 2000s,